Okay, ready to knot. All right, so you're all set up. And you watched the last video to help you figure that out. Now, the knot is a very weird little dude. Let me show you. Piece of paper here. Let's just draw it out a second. You have this core structure that runs down. Sorry, does that bother you a little bit? It bothers my OCD, my little soul inside. Make it straight. Okay, so there's an inner core, okay? So this inner core piece, I'm just going to draw one line, but these are two lines, okay? So my inner core piece, and then you're going to have these, you're going to have this, like, it looks almost like a number 4. So when I say a number 4, that's what I'm saying. This strand will look like a number 4, all right? Now and then, your number 4 has to go, here's your middle strand. Now and then your number 4 goes backwards like that, okay? But notice that it does this, okay? So that'll help you follow along when you go to do this. So just to begin with, you could do it the other side. I'm just going to start on this one because it looks like a number 4. So I know it's a big long string. You just have to deal with it for a while. It will get shorter, and after a while you're like, I wish I had more. So you're going to make it look kind of like a number 4 and lay it on top, okay? Then you're going to take the other strand and you're going to go over the number 4, and you're going to lift everybody up, and you're going to come under the whole unit, but come out the hole here. Keep everybody keep your fingers down, make sure everybody's playing nice, okay? And then as you come up here, tighten it up. There. Lay it flat. If it twists on you, just kind of lay it flat, and there you go. Yay! That's the knot. If you can do that, you got it, okay? The other little thing is you'll notice in your knot that there is, and let me kind of see if I can, how do you like the, hold on. Sorry if I make you seasick. I want to point out, hold on. Right here, do you see that little, there is like a little loop that comes over? Here it doesn't have that little loop. This little loop tells you which side to go to next. Okay, so be looking for that little loop. At the end of every knot, it will make just this wrapped area and then this little vertical loop. That's important. Okay, so be able to identify that in the knot. That's what the knot looks like. It just, it's horizontal and then this little vertical loop. Okay, so because I want my design to be flat, sorry, there, is that better? Okay, sorry. My arm that I used in class, this little arm thing that holds my phone, you remember it? Well, it broke, so now I have this double-decker. It's terrible. It misses, you guys. Okay, so I've got that little knot, and again, I'm going to go flat. Now, if you can see, I'll show you this, analyzing it. See, there's the little vertical loop on one side, and then the next side, and then the next side, and it goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So this actually has a zigzag to it, and each vertex ends with the vertical loop. I hope I haven't lost you. Okay, so that's going to keep it flat and not twisted. I don't know, maybe you can see it better on this side. So it has a vertical loop, and then it goes down, vertical loop, goes down, it zigzags, and every little point has a vertical loop on it. Now, if you do the knot on the same side every time, it will twist. That's what makes the twist happen. So I want it to lay flat, so I'm going to change direction every knot. When I go to twist it, I'm going to do the number 4 on the same side every time this way, not go the other way. So I'll talk about it more, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I look for the knot that's vertical, and I say, okay, now I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to make my number 4, and again, I know it's not a number 4, but you get it. This little sail, and it's over the top of the core. I'm going to take the next strand. I'm going to go under the core, and it's under the, oh my goodness. This way, going up, I'm sorry, okay. Oh, okay, talking, not thinking. There's my number 4. I'm going over it, but I'm then going to go under the whole thing and come out. out the whole of the 4. Pull it tight, 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 tight. Make sure it all lays flat. Okay, look for the vertical loop, and I know I need to go on this side. Make my number 4, cross down over that arm, but come all the way under, like a, like a slash mark through, but under my dude. Look for the vertical knot. I know to go to this side. This goes over that arm. This is on top. Lift up my core and run it under the whole unit. Okay, I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to run through this. Try to go a little faster. Look for my vertical knot, that side. Okay, so now we've come to the first mark. That's my first bead. So you want to go through and kind of press, press, press. And these actually will slide, you know, up and down the core. The whole thing can actually be slithered up and down if, you know, so you just press, and it doesn't slide, but it, depending on how tight you did it. But for the most part, it should be able to kind of flatten out if you need to pull it out and make it look a little bit more uniform. So I've come to my first mark with my Sharpie marker, and I'm ready to put my bead on. Now I actually took a rat tail, oh, what do you call those things? It's a file, and I actually filed on the inside. If I didn't do a good enough job, just get something in there that can, like, you know, press or takes, you know, I don't know, just get in there with your X-Acto knife or see. But I tried to file it, so you should be able to put the hemp in without a problem. All right, so you're going to take both strands and pull the bead through, stick it on, and then close up, get the tape on there again, and get that thing mounted to the table. Sorry, I got this. Not ideal. Again, my little camera is all wonky. Okay, so I got that on there. Now for this one, I want to just have this twist look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay on just one side. It's the same knot, except I'm just not going to pay attention to worrying about going from side to side to side to side. But if I get up and I'm like, oh crud, where was I? You can always look, and you'll know that you need to not go on the side of the mark of the vertical knot. So I will go around the bead and try to, if you tighten it too tight, this will blop onto the back. So try to keep it just tight enough that it just hugs the bead on either side. And I'm just going to stay on the same side, making it look like a true number 4. And you'll find that the whole piece will want to twist. See how it's twisting up here? It will want to twist. Just let it do that. It's okay. You'll also find that the tape at the bottom starts getting really upset and pulls away, and that's why, you know, you can use clips on a board, or some people do this on clipboards. They just grab the clipboard and then just at the top. It works out pretty well. And then just use a gem clip at the bottom, or anyway, you're smart. You'll figure it out. Have your sister hold it for you. What about that? I've actually done bracelets where, okay, this is probably TMI, but I make the loop and I hold it on my big toe, and then I can use my big toe and just do the whole, you know, we were camping. I was like, I don't have a clipboard, and I don't have, I'm going to use my toe. So I'd use my toe and then try to hold it on the other side. Okay, so I came to my next mark. I'm ready for my next bead. I'll put that bead in, but here's what I want to pay attention to. Very important is I want to see if my strands are equal. Okay, so I'm going to go through and measure, and one is longer than the other. So this one's the one that's going to be my number 4 as I go around. So it appears that I'm going to, I mean, I can twist it. I still like going on this side. Yeah, I'm going to use this longer one as my number 4. It just has to do a little more work than the other. Okay, so now if you decide to twist all the way for a big long one, you might find that the difference between the two are very extreme. So when you go to switch with a bead, use the other longer strand so that you keep them fairly equal. But I think you can see why it's nice to have that Sharpie marker, because that mark, because, you know, after a while you're like, how long do I go? So the pre-planning can really help you just know. See, I only have like maybe 3 more knots before that next bead. Okay, now again, I kind of want to even it out, make sure it looks nice. I feel good about it. Needs a little more tightening or kind of pinch it. You'll notice that the hemp is a little uneven. Sometimes there's really thin spots and sometimes there's like big old chunks. So you kind of have to work those in. They do soften up. This actually, as weedy and tweedy as it is at first, it gets very soft and cottony after you wear it for a while. Which is why oftentimes they were not meant to come on and off. You actually put it on yourself, tied it on, and it did not come off until it fell off. But I like the option of taking it off because, you know, it's like with my luck, I tie it on and 2 weeks later, I've been invited to be in a wedding or something. It's like, I didn't want to have to cut it off. So I like the clasp, so I thought it'd be important to show you the clasp. Okay, I'm putting the bead on. I'm going to move this up because you cannot see as well. Okay. Tie this puppy down again. Notice where my marks are. There we go. I'm going to see if one of my ends is longer than the other, if they kind of evened out. Oh, nope. One's longer. Okay, well, there's not much I can do about it now because they're going to be both used. All right, I'm going to zip on down to the bottom and stop at that mark. But this time, because I want it to be the same up here as here, I also, okay, oh, I forgot. Before you start doing this, you want to make sure this lying flat. Yeah, actually, see, my design is going to have this sucker. Does it do it? Yeah, it does. Look at that. Okay, so mine has this line in it. You might be able to plan it so as it spins, the line is flat like that. Just notice, I don't care. I don't think people are going to stare at my wrist hard enough to see that this thing sticks there, but if it bothers you or if you were going to sell these, you probably would want to plan it, like maybe do 2 more knots so that this bead doesn't have this in the middle of it, but I don't know. Up to you. Okay, so I'm noticing that, again, that vertical knot, there's that vertical loop, so that's the side that I go, my number 4 comes out on. I think that's the hard part, is just like, where was I? What was I doing now? You know, you get up to grab a glass of water and you come back to your project and you don't know where to begin again. So it makes it nice to say, oh yeah, there's the vertical loop. That's the side that needs the arm, the little 4. And you can see, remember how long these were at first? And you think, oh, this is terrible to work with. But towards the end, you're like, oh, I hope I have enough. Necklaces are even longer. I tried to make a macrame belt once, and I still have it. I'm still not done with it. They're so long because you have to get all the way around your waist. And the beads, I ran out of the right kind of beads. And oh well, I'll do it, but so excited about it. It's so cool looking, but I don't know. Okay. That one I actually pinned to my fireplace. And that way I could work it through the floor, you know, down to the floor, but maybe with COVID I'll finish my belt. I send you a picture halfway through the summer vacation, say, look, I finished it. Okay, so I finished it down to my mark, and now I have to just wrap it off. So in order to just wrap it off, you take your strand and you make a normal kind of a square knot, but you've got to be careful to don't just pull it. You've got to work the knot very tight. Hold it up against the bracelet and work it till it's, I mean, it's right next to it, and then you pinch it off, okay? And then you take your scissors and you clip rather close and then fuzz it out a little bit. And again, these fuzzing, the fact that the reason hemp is nice because it fuzzes up and then it kind of holds itself. Do the other side, rope it up, hold it up against the bracelet. Don't just pull it, hold it and work it so that it's going to actually be snug up against the bracelet. And then close it off, cut it, fuzz it up a little bit. If you ever use those polymer or synthetic cording, you can just take a lighter and just melt it and then pinch it and dab it in without burning your fingers, of course. Oh my goodness, I've done that. So anyway, okay. So there's the baseline of your, and then you can go ahead and cut this loop. Okay, and then you go ahead and, this is tricky, but you take both together, loop them, get both ends through, and then you want to work the knot to the end. So work it so it's just right at the ends there. Okay, and then the other side. Now, if you were to say, I don't want the clasp, I want to just tie it on my person, then that's what you would do. I don't even know that you need to do this little step I'm showing you at the end. You just hold the sucker down, have someone help you, tie the thing on in a square knot, and you're good to go. But like I said, you know, with our luck, you and I are going to a wedding, or you got, you know, senior photos or some formal event, and your mom's like, yeah, no, you're not wearing a hemp bracelet. So this is how to make the clasp. Again, see how you have to work that knot? It's not always as easy as, you don't just tie a knot. You've got to work it down because you want that space for your clasp. But you don't want your clasp to just like fly off. Okay, so I've got very little end. I've got some sliding space. And they, I think, are about even. Hey, not too shabby. A little bit off, but not too bad. Okay, the next video is the clasp.